What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV. Back at it again with another banger, my friends. So kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
Now, we know last night Uconn got thumped. Number 2 team in the nation got thumped on the road against Notre Dame. Hannah Hidalgo, Olivia Miles went off offensively. Sonia Citron with an incredible defensive effort against Paige Bueckers. But it was literally the Paige Bueckers and Sarah Strong show. Nobody else has stepped up for this roster that we looked at on paper and thought was a top 2 team in the nation and the biggest challenge to South Carolina defending their national championship. But the pieces around Paige Bueckers, Sarah Strong, and AZ Flood, when she's been available, she's been one of the best players on this team as well, of this three-headed monster shooting the basketball. They shot 18% from 3. Horrendous effort from 3. Nobody made shots. Nobody stepped up. And, I mean, the firepower just wasn't on display, and it's got me feeling like UConn's a little overrated. But Coach Geno Auriemma shared some very strong opinions about his team, basically saying, yo, we got to make shots, and Bueckers needs some help.
3-point struggles, how much do you attribute that to the way that they defended you guys versus just kind of an off night shooting?
I would say the two concerns. One, we weren't able to get enough of them, okay? And then certainly we didn't make enough of them. You know, I think the score was, 30-9 on threes, right? They made 10, we made 3. Yeah. That's a big deficit to try to come back on. So if you put, the threes and the free throws, it's just miraculous that we were even in this, in the second half. So yeah, we have to get more of them. I thought we had opportunities to get more of them, and we didn't. And being able to, you can say somebody's a pretty good three-point shooter. Well, you really find out how good a three-point shooter they are when they make them in this environment with the score, when you're down 5 or 6 or 7, it's late in the game. So first we work on getting more of them, and then we'll work on them going in. Well, I mean, we had it. Well, we cut it to 2 at the end of the third quarter, and I thought we were in pretty good shape, and we gave up an open 3 at the end there that really kind of hurt us. But I think the overriding theme in the game was our inability to get enough people and get enough other people to contribute in our offense, other than Paige having to do the way Paige had to do it. So I think for us going forward, we need more contributions from more people, because they get a lot of contributions from a lot of people, So we need to be able to do that, And obviously, if AZ was one of those people that we could throw it to, maybe that changes things, but it shouldn't be the answer. I mean, if you're playing at Connecticut, you have to be that kind of kid that can make an impact in a game like this, I think.
So they lost to Notre Dame 79-68. Paige Bueckers led the way with 25 points, and it was a hard-earned 25. I know people have been critical of her. We talked about her a bunch on this page, man, but on this channel, I should say. But I mean, she played a solid game. It's been some rough shooting nights. She's broke out of a slump, in my opinion, but she's also facing double teams and sometimes triple teams throughout contests. She is the top target on every team UConn plays scouting report, and she's still shooting over 50% from the field. But 25 points. I do want to say this before we go too much further. Paige definitely needs to be more aggressive and hunt her shot more, because she could have easily had 40 in this contest. I need her to be more aggressive. I need to see that dog, that fight in her, that competitiveness, that cerebral assassin, that Mamba blood that she has displayed in past years at UConn. It's like ever since the WNBA draft lottery came out, Bueckers has not been the same player, man. I need to see that dog, that dominance. It was a very physical game at Notre Dame, though. She took a lot of bumps that I think were called fouls or would be called fouls in a lot of other games. Paige got roughed up last night, and she's playing hella minutes, and I think Coach Geno Auriemma may be running her into the ground a little bit, to be honest with you. But looking at it, she had 25 to lead Uconn. Sarah Strong had 14, and she definitely would have had more if she didn't get in foul trouble. Caitlin Chen, 11. KK Arnold, 10. But look at it, man. Janelle Alfie, who started off the season very strong, not producing much. Morgan Shelley, another freshman, McDonald's All-American, not bringing much to the table. Caden Samuels dropped a freaking Tony Nelson, Big Egg. Ice Brady, inefficient. Ashlyn Shade, non-factor. And a lot of these players like KK Arnold, no disrespect, got a lot of these points in garbage time, man. Paige Bueckers has this team on her back, and I agree with Coach Geno Auriemma. Like, you come to UConn, you got to make plays. You're expected to make plays. And this team has definitely let Paige down in the last several games, in my opinion. Luckily, they've escaped with a few wins, and it didn't catch up to them until last night. But she has showed up for the most part. She's had a couple of bad games, breaking a slump. I can definitely admit that. But I mean, the minutes that she's playing, the responsibility that she has on defense, the responsibility she has as a playmaker, and the fact that she's their number one scoring option without AZ Fudd, who is absolutely, I mean, she's coming off her biggest game. She had 18 points in their last game before getting hurt. Like, she has come back into her own, and you could tell they definitely missed her three-point shooting, her ability to spread the floor, her ability to just open things up in the lane for everybody else. It's really been Paige Bueckers and Sarah Strong. I mean, the whole season, man. You even look at the numbers, like, it's honestly crazy. Paige Bueckers averaging 19.6 points per game, 5.2 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and she's still shooting a whopping 56% from the field, 38% from 3. Sarah Strong, second in everything, 16 points, leading the team in rebounds with 7.6. Also, impressive 3.4 assists, man. Sarah Strong is special. We really haven't seen anything like this since Stewie at Uconn. Also averaging 1.4 blocks, shooting 62.5% from the field, and shooting the fourth highest three-point percentage at 34.7. AZ Fudd, 10 points per game. Like I said, she was coming off a big game, though, their last game. And she's also shooting just 33.3% from the field, but she is definitely the best three-point shooter on this team. Ashlyn Shade is shooting second best, though, with 36.7%, while Morgan Shelley is shooting 50% from the three. But you look at it, nobody else outside that top three is averaging over 8 points. There is not a lot of balance with this Uconn team. Like, Ashlyn Shade has taken a major step back. KK Arnold has taken a major step back, which is disappointing considering just what we saw from them last season when they had to step up due to injuries. Like, they have both regressed, in my opinion. Morgan Shelley has had some flashes. Allie Zabel flashes, but the other freshmen aren't doing much, and Caden Samuels feels like the odd woman out of this lineup, averaging the least minutes per game, man. And I know they still don't have everybody back on this roster, but, man, they're not getting a lot of production from the rest of this group, and it's crazy. KK Arnold and Ashlyn Shade have definitely been disappointing, man. The other freshmen outside of Sarah Strong haven't contributed much. Janelle Alfie started strong, but still looks like a freshman. Like, it's really been Sarah Strong and Paige Bueckers when AZ Fudd has been out, man. And they obviously miss AZ Fudd desperately. Like, she's going to have to be healthy and be a big contributor for this team to reach the peaks that we thought they would when we saw this roster on paper. UConn, bit overrated, though, in my opinion. Disappointing, haven't played a tough schedule, and they ran into an absolute buzzsaw. And I think fans might need to be worried a little bit about this UConn team. It might be time to panic just a little bit right now. I'm not saying they can't turn it around, but right now, with the production they're getting from the other core, like, roster players, the bench, the role players, like, it's not promising right now. Shooting 18% from three-point is not going to get it done, man. Coach Geno Auriemma definitely seems a little worried. Half of y'all, when I put the poll in my chat last night, said he should retire. Is Geno's way not the way anymore? Is he not resonating with the players on his roster? Could he lose this locker room if they keep losing? I don't know, man, but I think UConn definitely got some holes exposed. Limited offense, too much reliability on the starters, especially Paige Bueckers. They're playing Jimmy Butler minutes, man, Tom Thibodeau's type style minutes. Yeah, the UConn got exposed. There's definitely some flaws on this roster, and they're going to have to play better as a cohesive unit. Geno said it perfectly. Like, literally, you come to UConn, you have to make plays. You're a player that is expected to make plays and play and raise the standard of your game to meet the standard of all these greats that have come before you. They got straight up embarrassed last night, and to be honest with y'all, UConn definitely might be in some trouble, and man, by the time that South Carolina game comes around, I really hope they got some quirks worked out and they get more production from this roster, because it's been an ugly look, man. And Paige Bueckers is getting dragged through the mud because her teammates keep showing her up, and not showing up, I should say. But y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments. That's a wrap for us. For all the latest and the greatest, I am Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Till next time, hey, we out.